So this is my drone special. If you've been watching my channel for any period of time, you know that I'm just fascinated by drones. I think that this has changed warfare significantly moving forward. Like warfare will never be the same again now that drones are part of it. In the same way that once tanks entered the field, everything changed. This was about 2 weeks ago, well, December 21st. Ukraine conducted its first ground attack without infantry using only robotic systems. Here it is in the ISW. On 20 December, Ukrainian forces conducted their first ground attack exclusively using robotic systems instead of infantry on an unspecified date near Kharkiv city and successfully destroyed these positions. The spokesperson stated that Ukrainian forces conducted an attack with dozens of UGVs, that's unmanned ground vehicles, equipped with machine guns, also used the UGVs to lay and clear mines in unspecified positions in the area. Ukrainian officials have repeatedly highlighted Ukraine's efforts to utilize technological innovations and asymmetrical strike capabilities to offset Ukraine's manpower limitations, in contrast with Russia's willingness to accept unsustainable casualty rates for marginal territorial gains. And they have, the Russians just keep pouring soldiers into the meat grinder, and the Ukrainians aren't willing to do that. And remember, they have just a population disadvantage of about 3 to 1 to the Russians. So they have to think outside the box, and drones are the way to do that. Now, the assault involved both UAVs and dozens of ground drones, and here's some imagery from this. Here's a little video that was put together. So they launched air and drone UGVs on the ground as well as UAVs, and there was a coordinated attack. And the drone operators are watching with the UAVs while the UGVs are doing what they're doing on the ground with their first-person view. It's pretty fascinating that they're able to do what they're able to do here. Now, that's not all. Ukraine harnesses vast military data to train AI models. So as warfare increasingly incorporates artificial intelligence, Ukraine is leveraging a valuable asset: millions of hours of drone footage to train AI systems for battlefield decision-making. Quote, "This is AI fodder. Give it 2 million hours of video and it becomes something supernatural." The system processes an average of 5 to 6 terabytes of new combat footage daily, providing essential data for AI training on combat tactics, targeting identification, and weapon systems optimization. Essentially, this is experience turned into mathematics. AI can learn trajectories and angles for maximum weapons efficiency. Now, both sides can do the same thing, but the Ukrainians seem to be capitalizing on this more. And when there are AI drones on the battlefield that aren't dependent on wireless or satellite systems, it'll be a lot harder to take them down with electronic warfare. Now, here's a Ukrainian ground drone under Russian fire. It's on its way to rescue its fallen colleague, a heavy bomber drone. So this drone is just going through the battlefield, and it's on its way to pick up a stranded aerial drone. Look at this. This is absolutely fascinating to my mind that it's able to do such a thing and pick this thing up, haul it back to safety, and repurpose it. Now, here's another rescue attempt of a downed drone. So one drone is shot down and another is going out to rescue it. This is just amazing. This is a drone that's been shot down on a string being rescued now. A video, this Saving Private Mavic, the video captures the process of retrieving downed drones from the battlefield and bringing them back home. It's just amazing to me that this is what's going on, but this is what's going on. Now, I showed this the other day, but Ukraine is producing more than 96% of the drones needed for the front line, and there are 800 state and private companies involved. Now, this is precisely the right approach. Rather than centralize, they're drawing on the entrepreneurial spirit of the Ukrainian people and various organizations that are competing to make things better, and that's going to serve them really, really well in their defense industry. And drone supplies to defense forces are up 19-fold in 2024. I showed this the other day as well. Over 170 types of unmanned systems are now in use by Ukrainian defense forces. Now, drones are also being equipped with shotguns and shooting other drones down. And on December 28th, we had the first recorded event of a drone shooting down another drone with a shotgun. And pretty soon you'll see dogfights with drones shooting other drones with shotguns or other similar kind of weapons. How does this change all designs of Western weaponry? How much of what we currently have is obsolete given the rise of drones? So they need to create these cages around armored vehicles to protect against drone. Armor alone doesn't do it. So it's not just the vehicles that are obsolete, but even the formations. This is a diagram of formations in World War II, what the Nazis would do and how they would spread their formation. And that would be formidable. But a flight of drones would see this as shooting fish in a barrel. Think about this. A $500 or $1,000 drone can now destroy a $1 million tank. Okay, here's a drone pilot sharing an emotional story about losing Ukrainian comrades while fighting on the front line. The 22-year-old has seen intense combat since she joined Ukraine's military after graduating from the university. There's been a lot of death here. Some people do not understand how many lives have been lost. Many people here will not return because their bodies will simply not be found. Siri joined the army at the age of 21. Well, I don't know, it's terrible. It's difficult when you find a corpse and just look to see if it's a Ukrainian soldier. For me, that's the most terrible thing here. I've never seen so much death before. It's really very difficult. Drone units are playing a vital role in this war. Both sides have been increasing defense capabilities against drones. It's really active here. Everyone needs to quickly adjust. If you're still flying on some old radio channels, your drones are easily jammed. This is what we faced, and the issue we had to solve very quickly. Because if our kamikaze drones can't fly, we would lose half our attack force. Siri says her unit is on duty around the clock and makes about 25 flights a day. Now, I want to talk about this idea that the drones are easily jammed. AI will preclude that, as will fiber optic, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Now, we also saw this in the last few days. The Ukrainian military intelligence has confirmed the downing of 2 Russian helicopters by Magura V-5 drones in the Black Sea. That is, a sea drone has actually shot down 2 helicopters. We thought it was 1. It's actually 2 helicopters. That's crazy. If you would have asked me whether I would have placed my bet on a helicopter shooting at a seaborne drone or a seaborne drone shooting at a helicopter, I would have lost money on that. But yet it's happening. Now, over the holidays, I realized where my fascination of drones came from. There's an old holiday movie around Christmas every year called March of the Wooden Soldiers. Now, this was a 1934 movie in black and white, and it's set in a fictional land with all the Mother Goose and Grimm's fairy tales and 3 Little Pigs and all those kind of things. Now, there's a toy factory in the town, and somehow they messed up an order and created 100 6-foot wooden soldiers where they were supposed to have 600 1-foot wooden soldier toys. And that plays into the story because when boogeymen are released on the town, these are the bad guy releases these ape-like humanoid kind of monsters on the town. They have to fight back, and they get this idea, hey, let's go get these wooden soldiers. And they activate all these wooden soldiers, basically they're drones, to go push all these boogeymen out of the town, and they save the day. So I think that this movie that I saw in my childhood actually led to my fascination with drones. And we did the drone fundraiser because we realized that the drones are a force magnifier on the battlefield. And by the way, what we're actually sending are going to be fiber optic drones, which electronic warfare means don't work on these drones like they would on other drones. So that's awesome. And thank you to all 1,266 of you who donated $147,000. It's wonderful. Thank you so much for that support. Now, one of the things that I find interesting about drones is that you're thinking outside the box. Now, one of the things that I find interesting about drone warfare is turning a disadvantage into an advantage. Like the advertisers did from Daihatsu, picks up 5 times more women than a Lamborghini. Well, yes, it does. And this is one of the best illustrations I can give you for how drone warfare has changed the battlefield. All right, my friends, that's all that I have. Please put your comments below. I'm interested to hear what you have to say about drones. Thank you for your time, the likes, the shares, and the subscribes. And thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.